AM 1490, FM 105.5, WGCH, WGCH.com, anywhere. WGCH News Center time is 8:21. I'm joined in studio by Barbara Occhino. Barbara's come in for a number of things in the past. Always has something going on. We got one to talk about this morning. Good morning, Barbara. How you doing?
Good morning, Tony. So nice to be here, and always great to see you in person.
I know. Good to see you, too.
Yes,
all right, we all love the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. There's a new one out called Kindness Matters. Barbara Occhino has a story that's in there. Tell us about, before you get to the story itself,
Yes.
How did this all come about that you got into the book?
Well, it's funny because, I'm a storyteller. I've lived in so many places, born in Cuba, and I lived in Venezuela, California, Jersey, Florida. And when I talk to my friends are always saying, God, Barb, you got so many great stories. You really need to write these down. I thought, you don't know when you sit down, as you know, with any creative process, if it's going to take you 4 hours or 40 hours. You just don't know. So between work and the activities, everything else, and my volunteer work, I said, I just can't allocate that kind of time. But last July, I had with a pandemic and everything, we had a day that was a little slower, and I just had this inspiration to start writing. And I got on the computer and things started flowing out, and I'm looking at the stories, and I said, everything that I like has got almost like a message or a moral purpose or a conclusion that teaches you something. And I said, geez, this reminds me of this For the Soul books. And I'm a huge fan of the books. As you said, you can read them for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 50 minutes. So I looked up the format, and they have a very strict format, and they have thousands of people around the world that submit stories as authors. So I decided, let me see if I can submit it. Forgot about it because I said I don't stand a chance in getting in. And a couple of months later, I get the first acceptance, and a month after that, I had the official notice that I was going to be published. And honestly, Tony, I was in shock. I didn't believe that I could accomplish that. I hold in such esteem the book series because it's just so uplifting. And I mean, they've sold over 500 million books around the world, and they have, New York Times bestsellers. So to be included in that honor was really a shock for me.
Like being a contestant on Jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, something like that. But did they change a lot of what you wrote?
No, nothing at all. And that was the thing. No, the only thing that they may do is that they say you have to verify, you have to do your own fact checking. There can be nothing in there that's it all has to be true, accountable and true. So there was one thing that I had estimated a number of years, and I just went back and calculated, and I thought it was about 10 years when I'm telling my story, about this person I met. And then I go back, I go, oh my God, it was a dozen, it was 12 years. So that's the kind of thing that you have to verify. You have to, of course, know, grammar and everything else. And they do add a quote. They send you something that's going to start off your story, and they ask you if that's something that you approve of.
And yours is, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle, from Plato.
There you go.
And so the name of your story is Dennis.
Yes.
So tell us the story about Dennis. So you're saying it happened, say, almost 13 years ago then? 12 years ago last July?
No, this happened, I was in my 20s, so this is like 30-something years ago. I'm getting old, Tony. You're so kind. Yeah. But my husband and I had just started our business, and we would cold canvas till all hours, and then at night we needed to have that cup of coffee, just to do the paperwork part of it. And we would go to this donut shop in downtown Stamford, and after hours, people that were a little more colorful, let's say, would start coming out. And it would just, to me, every time I look at someone's face, whether it's on the streets or whatever, I go, man, there's a story there. I would love to talk. And my husband says to me, turn the talk to me sign that's on your forehead. Barbara, shut it off, because I will have people coming up to me and telling me their life story. So there was this one particular person that I just kept looking at, and I said, geez, I just wonder what got him. He looked really tattered, and just beaten, and it just broke my heart. And my husband makes the mistake of getting up to go to the bathroom, and he looks at me, he goes, Barbara, please, let's just have a cup of coffee today and leave. We got stuff to do. I'm like, sure. So I'm looking down at my coffee.
Now, at this point, did he know that you were kind of looking at this guy saying,
No. He hadn't seen me. No. So when he leaves, I'm trying hard as can be not to make eye contact with anybody. But naturally, I look up and this man is looking right at me. And of course, I put a big grin on my face. And he says, "Coffee's pretty good, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's great." He says, "I see you in here every day with your husband." And I said, "Yep, this is where we come." I mean, it was just a nonsensical conversation. My husband comes out, and there I am having a conversation. He rolls his eyes. He's like, "Really, Barbara? We got to go." So every time I would go in there, he was in there. And we would look at each other, grin, do a little covert, hello. Mm-hmm. And this went on for the time that we were there. I mean, sometimes we'd talk, sometimes we wouldn't. And then we moved, lost track. 12 years later, Tony, 12 years later, I get a client out of Norwalk, and I had to do a photo shoot. I own an ad agency, so I was putting together this pamphlet, and everybody in the mechanic area and in the garages were all helping me to get the props and everything. And this one man is going out of his way. I mean, whatever I needed, it was there. He was just fabulous. And at the end of it, he looks at me and he says, "You don't remember me?" And I look at him and I go, "I'm sorry. I mean, now, I said, no, I said, I'm very good at remembering faces." And then I keep looking at him and I look in his eyes. And that's when I started crying. Oh, I'm crying now. I can't take it. And I just threw my arms around him. And I said, "What is your name?" And he says, "My name is Dennis." And he said, "I have to thank you. You were the only person that ever talked to me in that place. And just having you smile at me made my day," and whatever. Well, now he was this cleaned up, in a uniform, had gotten a job. And I won't tell you the rest of the details because they're in the story, but who the heck knew that something as minor as acknowledging someone and smiling at them, that they would remember that, So, I mean, I make it a point. I really believe in this, and everybody, my family thinks I'm a total mush, but I say, like the quote says, you just don't know what that other person is going through. It takes so little effort to help someone with a grocery or be kind or whatever. From what I've read, the amount of positive hormones that are released into your body when you do an act of kindness, the endorphins, the dopamine. I mean, my gosh, could you imagine if we all started doing just a little bit every day, how much more everybody would be smiling and doing for each other? I think it would make a big difference. And this book has 101 stories that are all about kindness and compassion and doing things for others. Mm-hmm. And it's just something that I think, especially now with the way that, all the turmoil in the world, if you pick something up and you read a story about someone who's just done something, not for themselves, but for just a simple act of kindness, it really makes you have faith again in humanity and the goodness that there is.
Mm-hmm. It is chicken soup for the soul.
Chicken soup for the soul.
Kindness Matters, and it's Barbara Occhino, Dennis. It's chapter 9, story 77, if you want to look it up. But read the other ones. And it's interesting you mentioned how you fact check this, because sometimes you read these stories and say, this couldn't be true. They had to make this up. But
right. No, you have to. Yeah, it's absolutely true. And, you have to sign the agreements to that matter. Mm-hmm. And it's not easy, but it's certainly worth the process. And I'm already starting to write some more now.
Oh, you want to get more into future books?
Into writing, because I have neglected it. It's been something I've done a lot of writing for marketing for clients, their brochures and catalogs. But this is a whole different thing. And it makes you very vulnerable because you're exposing who you are to people. And so you open yourself up for criticism.
Yeah, the highest nail always gets hit by the hammer. Yeah. Did you get paid for this?
Yes.
They do pay you?
Yeah,
okay.
They pay. Yep,
Good.
They pay. So,
right.
Which I'm also like, oh my God. I'm official. My daughter's one who's a writer was saying, "Yes, Mom, you're an author." I said, I am. She says, "Yes, now that you're published."
Yeah, auteur.
Auteur. Yes.
Well, congratulations.
So, thank you,
congratulations.
Tony.
And I look forward to I read your article. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the book, though. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a wonderful series, and it's
just out today, right? Is that right?
Very good. Yes,
Yep.
Today is the official release date. People could have bought it before. They were on pre-sale. Internet, booksellers, whether it's the typical, the Amazons and Barnes and Noble, but also independent, the stores, Target, Walmart. Everybody has the book. Mm-hmm. They're just sold they're in 43 languages, and it's just incredible the success of this concept.
And I was hearing somewhere where they think that this is I think I mentioned this to you, that they own Crackle now, I think. This whole Chicken Soup for the Soul franchise, I think, owns Crackle, or they've gotten into the media, television.
They have their own entertainment division now.
Correct, yeah.
And it is just incredible things. They have pet food. They have, I mean, the company is just growing in so many areas, and I can see the tie-in, because if you read some of these stories, you go, that could make a really interesting short film, or even a series. Like, you have so many of these series, like, you know, Modern Love and all these.
Who stars as Barbara Occhino?
I don't know. Some poor soul.
Well, Barbara, congratulations. Thanks again for coming in. And
My
again,
pleasure.
Chicken Soup for the Soul, Kindness Matters. And again, the story is Dennis by Barbara Occhino.
Thank you, Tony. Have a great day.
Thanks, same to you. WGCH New Center time is 8:32. We'll take a break, come back with more after this.